Welcome to my new video. Today I will tell you about Marcus Aurelius, the philosophic Roman emperor. Marcus Aurelius Antonius was born on 26th of April 121 in Rome. His adoptive father was a Roman emperor Antonius Pius. Marcus Aurelius' real father died when he was 3 years old, and his grandfather then took care about the young Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was also very enthusiastic with wrestling and boxing, and he also trained his abilities. He also joined the Salii, which were the priests of god Mars. His enthusiasm for philosophy began with his teacher, Diognetus, who introduced him to the philosophical way of life. He also got Stoicism from there, the foundation to write the meditation. When we move to more political things, in year 136, Emperor Hadrian almost died, so he decided to adopt Marcus Aurelius as intended father-in-law, Lucius Calonius Commodus, but he died shortly after, so Hadrian adopted Marcus Aurelius' uncle, Aurelius Antonius. But as part of Hadrian's terms, he had to adopt Marcus Aurelius and Lucius Commodus, son of Lucius Caeonius. Marcus Aurelius reportedly greeted this news with sadness instead of joy. Around the year 138, Hadrian requested the Senate that Marcus Aurelius can become quaestor before his 24th birthday. The Senate accepted, so young Marcus Aurelius became quaestor. But shortly after this success, Hadrian died, and Antonius Pius became emperor. This all happened in year 138. Marcus Aurelius then became heir to Antonius Pius. Aurelius then became a consul in year 140. And Marcus Aurelius did not have a lot of work, but he soon drowned into paperwork, telling his tutor, Pronto, this, I am so out of breath from dictating nearly 30 letters. In year 145, Marcus Aurelius was made consul for a second time. Also, at this time, he began using Stoicism, working and being dutiful. When he was ill, he was praised for this by historian Cassius Dio. He later, that same year, married his legal sister Faustina. He also began training his oratory abilities. Probably his greatest teacher was Marcus Cornelius Fronto. A lot of the letters between those two survived to this day. If you would like to see some of the letters, I will put a link in the description, but we can see that the letters were very intimate. Antonius Pius then died in year 161. He was the longest reigning emperor since Augustus. Marcus Aurelius became the emperor in the same year. From beginning, he feared his imperial powers, and he was unhappy with his role. But here, his stoicism helped him, because it was his duty. For a few moments, at the beginning of his reign, he was sole emperor, but he then told the Senate to grant Lucius Verus the same powers, and Senate accepted. This was the first time when Rome was ruled by two emperors. They then went to give donativum to soldiers. This was a monetary gift which became the tradition. Marcus Aurelius then married his 11 years old daughter to Lucius Verus, his co-emperor. Marcus Aurelius then replaced many of the empire's major officials. In year 162, there were massive floods in Rome, flooding many areas in the city. Also, in year 161, Vologases IV, king of Parthia, moved into Armenia. At that time, Roman client state, governor of Cappadocia, then decided to go into Parthia with his legion. He was convinced that he will win by one prophet, but he lost, committing suicide on the end. The Parthians then attacked Roman territory itself, so Rome sent many legions into the place. This weakened the northern frontier. Lucius Verus then went to take care about the war, with Marcus Aurelius staying in Rome. All of Armenia was then recaptured. By year 164, Vologases then replaced yet another Roman client's king, So the Romans moved from Armenia into the Parthian Empire. The Romans then managed to get to Ctesiphon and Seleucia. Ctesiphon was taken and its royal palace was sent to flame, but Seleucia, once the capital city of Seleucus' empire, one of successor states of Alexander the Great, which was mainly inhabited by Greeks. The city opened its gates, but it was still sacked. This left a black mark on Lucius' reputation. The Roman army then returned back to Roman territory in the year 166, achieving victory. Marcus Aurelius then named his successors his two sons, Annius and Commodus. But Annius died shortly after, leaving only Commodus as heir. But do you remember about the weakened northern frontiers? Yes, the barbarians attacked Roman Empire from north. Around year 160, the barbarians were in turmoil. When they acknowledged that the northern frontier is weakened, they began to raid Roman territory. The Romans then managed to repulse German invasions in year 162, but far more dangerous invasion came in year 166, when the Marcomanni of Bohemia, modern-day Czechia, crossed the Danube together with the Lombards. Marcus Aurelius himself took the legions, and they managed to do a counter-offensive, putting the barbarians behind the river Danube. But Marcus Aurelius continued behind the river, totally defeating the tribe. Marcus Aurelius' plan was to create two new provinces behind the river Danube, in modern Czechia and Slovakia. The name of the provinces should be Marcomannia and Sarmatia. But from the maps of the Roman Empire, there are none such provinces. At this time, Marcus Aurelius died, and his son, Commodus, had a little interest of creating new provinces. He made peace with the tribes and took all the Roman legions back behind the river Danube, ending Roman presence behind the river. A word on the end. Marcus Aurelius was one of the best Roman emperors. He was the last emperor of the good 5 emperors. He also wrote his book Meditations, which is bestseller, but he wrote that book for himself. From the Marcomannic Wars, we have many military camps of Rome from the territory conquered by them, like in Muszów in Moravia, modern-day Czechia, which would probably become the biggest Roman city behind the Danube if they would continue their presence there. I hope that you liked this video. You can give me a like and subscribe. I will see you at the next video. Bye.